"You can't destroy what's legally mine," I yelled, but nobody could hear me over the roar of that excavator. 6 months of my life, 85 grand out of my savings, and the only bridge connecting my property to the outside world was getting chewed up right in front of me. All while Patricia Wilkins, our lovely HOA chairwoman, stood there grinning like she'd just hit the jackpot. If you've ever watched your world fall apart while someone sips their coffee and calls it just policy, you know the kind of rage I felt right then. Thing is, Patricia had no clue she was lighting the fuse on her own downfall. Turns out, tearing down my bridge would be the biggest mistake of her life. Comment below where you're watching from, because what I found next changed everything. That morning, it was quiet, birdsong, sunlight bouncing off wet concrete, until the diesel started rumbling. My bridge, fresh concrete still shining from last night's pour, wasn't even set when Patricia strutted up with a demolition notice. She waved it around like she was showing off a gold medal, hollering about some violation of Regulation 15.3.2. Behind her, a big yellow Caterpillar idled, operator staring at his phone, waiting for the go-ahead. "Unauthorized structure on community land," Patricia shouted, making sure the neighbors had a good show. I'd had enough. I pulled out my county permit, notarized, stamped, authorization number XD202-40847, clear as day. Every inspection passed, every fee paid, but Patricia just flicked a glance, then smirked like I was a child holding up a crayon drawing. "The HOA has jurisdiction over all exterior modifications. County approval doesn't override us," she said, like it was the law of the universe. Thing is, my bridge didn't touch a single inch of HOA property. It crossed a dry creek, totally inside my boundary. But she waved her hand, and that excavator roared to life. That's when I realized this wasn't about some technicality. It was personal, and it was planned. I caught a peek at her folder as she tucked it away. My lot was outlined in red pencil, a weird tag, TBD 209, I'd never seen before. I asked about it, but Patricia just smiled, called it old admin stuff, and turned away. Funny thing, that tag, and a date, 2019, kept popping up on every document she lugged around. That was the year she became HOA president. Turns out, it was also when my property got flagged for future review, a little side project nobody else on the board even knew about. "Mr. Thompson is damaging the ecosystem, disrupting the harmony we've built," Patricia announced to the neighbors like she was holding court. She whipped out photos of mud stains around my bridge. "Environmental impact," she claimed. But I noticed a shadow in one photo. A county truck, license plate starting with GC, for government contractor. Why was a county vehicle taking pictures at my site? When I asked to see the full regulation, she shut me down. Only board members can review internal documents. I reminded her that state transparency laws required HOA rules to be public, but she wouldn't budge. Her excuse contradicted every word in the HOA's own charter about open governance. That's when I started digging. And boy, did I find gold. County Road 45 didn't just run past my property. It actually cut through a parcel I'd inherited from my granddad, Lot 251. His 1987 will said, clear as day, that Lot 251 held the only vehicle access rights for the entire Maplewood Heights neighborhood. Someone had tried to black out that sentence, but with the right light, you could still read it. So I didn't just own my house. I owned the only road connecting 67 families to the outside world. The next morning, I got a certified letter, Patricia's latest threat: remove all debris in 48 hours or they'd bill me $12,000 for cleanup. She insisted all disputes go through mandatory HOA arbitration, something I'd refused to sign when I bought the house. Now I was really wondering, why was she so sure she could force me into her game? My research on Patricia revealed a pattern. Real estate license in 2018, lots of deals for Meridian Development, all of them about access rights consolidation. Funny how her work and her HOA presidency lined up perfectly. That night, an anonymous email landed in my inbox. Patricia isn't protecting the community. She's protecting a much bigger payday. Check the county records for property transfers from 2019 on. The sender used Proton Mail, no name. Someone on the inside wanted me to keep digging. I drove Maplewood Heights after midnight, tracing every route. There was only one way out, my road. The rest? Dead ends. Patricia's panic about my bridge snapped into focus. I was holding the golden ticket, and she was trying to rip it up before I figured it out. I went over my deed with a magnifying glass. Hidden in the legalese, Lot 251, including County Road 45 and all access privileges thereto. Dense, but clear. I didn't just own a lot. I owned the only artery the whole community needed. Patricia was desperate to keep me from realizing it. But my deed was missing a page, cleanly cut, not torn. Someone had tampered with my documents. I called the county first thing Monday. Becky, the records specialist, pulled up my file. Lots 247 and 251, both in my name, no restrictions, and get this. Lot 251 had a critical access classification from 1954, meaning I could build infrastructure without extra permits. Also, my file had been misfiled from 2019 until the day before, hidden in a supervisor's cabinet. I hired an attorney, David Mitchell, who wasted no time. You've got a classic case of willful property destruction, treble damages, maybe $255,000. He filed a police report and got a restraining order to keep Patricia off my land. Patricia fired back on social media, painting me as the villain threatening community values. Her post racked up likes and comments, but Linda Watson, a 73-year-old neighbor, broke the spell. Patricia pressured me to sign over access rights. When I refused, she harassed me for months. Others joined in. The board finally called an emergency meeting. Turns out Patricia never showed them my permits before authorizing demolition. Then the media got involved, Channel 7 News, local papers. Patricia refused to answer questions and stormed off camera. Meanwhile, Margaret Foster, a retired county planner, reached out. She'd been keeping originals of all the property documents Patricia had altered since 2019. With her evidence and Mitchell's legal firepower, we had Patricia cornered. But the threats got uglier. A burner phone, anonymous texts about my family, warnings to drop the lawsuit or else. Police Detective Karen Russell took it seriously. This was organized intimidation. Then a county inspector, James Rodriguez, revealed Patricia had filed backdated complaints, fake documents, and struck deals with Meridian Development for big money, $1.47 million in commission, if she delivered total road control. That was her endgame. Turn our whole neighborhood into a luxury gated community, bulldoze our access rights, and cash in. When Rodriguez showed me the contract, I knew Patricia would do anything to keep her scheme afloat, even threaten my family. Federal agents swooped in. Patricia's web of bribery, forgeries, and backdoor deals unraveled fast. County clerks, building inspectors, private investigators, all paid off or bullied. We launched a website with evidence, shifting public opinion. Then came the bust. Patricia caught fleeing the country with cash, fake IDs, hard drives full of dirty secrets. Courtroom packed, media everywhere. Patricia, in orange, no more pearls and pearls of wisdom. Judge Wilson didn't blink. 18 years in federal prison, $2.3 million in restitution, banned for life from HOA or real estate work. Her accomplices? All behind bars. Meridian Development's stock tanked, the luxury project scrapped, and our road, my bridge, restored with her seized assets. The county even put up a plaque, Thompson Memorial Bridge, a landmark of property rights. But the real win? The neighbors came together. New leadership, open books, real transparency. Folks who'd sided with Patricia apologized, and the barbecue Linda threw for my family felt like a real homecoming. Our story sparked new laws protecting homeowners. People started standing up everywhere. 6 months later, standing on that rebuilt bridge, I realized this fight was never just about me. Sometimes the biggest battles aren't about land or money. They're about standing up when everyone else is scared, about refusing to let bullies and crooks rewrite the rules. That bridge became more than concrete. It became a symbol that you can't buy justice, and you can't bulldoze what's right. So tell me, what would you have done if your whole neighborhood was on the line? Drop a comment. Should neighbors have the right to fight back when their HOA goes rogue? Ever been in a battle for what's yours? Let's hear your stories, because this isn't just my fight, it's everyone's.